Wedding is the final episode of Series 2, and it shares a lot of similarities with the last episode of Series 1, Funeral, as both episodes are titled after events that would seem like huge deals that would lead to cliffhangers or big conclusions, yet happen halfway through the episode and are done with much earlier than you'd expect. Though this definitely isn't a bad thing, as the structure of these episodes only emphasises the point that they're trying to make. Nancy and Jez's wedding is inconsequential and only happens so she can get a visa, so it just being a fleeting event in the show makes the viewer understand how little it matters. Well, to Nancy at least. Mark's initial conversation with Sophie in the cafe has always stuck out to me as sounding incredibly, I don't know, fake, scripty. It just doesn't sound like a real conversation to me, unlike the rest of the show. Mark's just a bit too fast and quippy with his responses, and Sophie immediately changing the conversation by saying, "And how's your love life?" is almost straight out of the room. But the parts of the scene with Karen are great, with him awkwardly winking, though I do think it's somewhat of a shame that Sarah Hadlam plays such an irrelevant and rather pointless character here, seeing as she has great chemistry with Mitchell and Webb in other projects with them. The wedding scene itself is one of the best moments in this series for me, with Jez insisting on saying "do I" rather than "I do." Rob's acting here is actually brilliant, as you can see Jez anticipating the moment he gets to say "do I" and almost laughing to himself at how funny he thinks it's going to be. The latter half of this episode is kind of strange, but in a good way. It's the last time we see one of my favourite characters, Tony. She goes out just how she came in though, quirky, sexually frustrated and with a severe resentment of her husband. She really added a lot of character to the show, and it's a huge shame she never returned after this. It doesn't feel like her character was finished with just yet, and her crazy relationship with her husband, while established, feels like it had more to give. The bit with Jeff coming back to Sophie's flat after their breakup and crying over her clothes is off-putting in a way. Seeing Jeff like this feels almost inappropriate as a viewer, as it's the first major moment of weakness we've seen from him in 2 whole series, though the fact that this is never brought up again, even at the highest point of the Mark-Jeff antagonism, is disappointing. Mark is petty and known to play dirty, so you would have thought he would have held us over Jeff forever, but I guess not.